Hello and welcome once again to the Blizzard ANZ Proleague, brought to you by GameStar. We're in week 4, match number 8, and it's gonna be good. This is quite an important match we've got tonight. I'm Zeph. With me is my good friend Death. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing super well, Zeph. I am absolutely Gucci tonight, and I suppose the reason for that is just the match that we've got ahead of us. And this is crunch time. This match is for all the cards, pretty much. This match tonight between Legacy Esports and Downfall Gaming is to decide who will be in the grand final next Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Good lineup for both players, and a bit of a funky map pool this week because we're going to be kicking off in Battle on the Boardwalk, which is produced some pretty weird games for us so far. So very important match for both of these guys. Hopefully that first map doesn't tilt them too much, but I'm going to have fun, that's for sure. And I mean, we also have 2 other matches being played this week as well.
Yeah, so we've got a pretty packed schedule, actually. So tomorrow night, we're going to have 1F Pro Gaming going up against SYF Gaming. SYF are already kind of locked into the grand final, but 1F Pro, maybe they can improve a little bit and get a bigger piece of the overall pie in terms of prize distribution. We'll touch on that in a second as well. And so 1F Pro versus SYF Gaming will be played tonight, and we'll be casting it tomorrow night.
Yes.
And then those maps will be Mia Micah versus Crimson, Scarecrow versus Hut, Rise versus Mighty Kiwi, and yours versus Seether. And then on Thursday night, we've got another treat for you guys, which will be 1F Pro Gaming versus OSC Elite. And those matches will be Vivid versus Initiative. This is, by the way, the first time anyone's going to know these lineups. And they were there on stream. I just missed some of them, but we'll have those back up for you in just a minute. We'll maybe get to those after we've played this first map.
Yeah,
But,
so there's 2 more nights of StarCraft after this, which is the main takeaway there. So they will be playing for placing, as Death alluded to. So the grand finals, unfortunately, out of reach for these guys at the moment. And the grand finals will be taking place next week on the 19th. So first place is getting $1,400, $800 for second, then third, fourth, and fifth get $400, and then $200 apiece respectively. So there's still a lot of money in it for these guys. It's not like the last round robin matches don't matter. It's about getting the best rank that you can out of these 5 teams.
Yeah, one of the funny things, actually, I saw on the news today that the Aussie dollar is expected to crack 90 US cents. So what started out as a lot more Aussie dollars in US dollars is kind of crashing back down to earth just in time for Christmas. But I thought that was a funny observation. Now, the lineups that we've got tonight, let's talk a little bit about that before we jump into game number 1. So we'll be starting off on Battle on the Boardwalk, like you said, Zeph, between Luneth and tgun. Then next up, we'll have Pez for Downfall Gaming against Azure from Legacy. We'll have Ice versus Probe, and then Blisk versus Peppy. And once again, we've got crazy lineups. I honestly think that we're probably going to go to an ace match tonight.
Yeah, I think that's quite likely. We've been blessed with mostly ace matches, I want to say, actually, every week, which has been fantastic. And it shows how closely matched a lot of these players and the teams as a whole are. So even those teams sitting kind of at the bottom there, it's not like they got steamrolled. Like most of them have gone to the ace match anyway.
There's no 3-0s.
Yeah, it's just been a bit of a rough time for some of them, but nonetheless, this is going to be a great match. I think Legacy are looking really strong after the first couple of weeks, really solidified their position as possible grand final contenders. Downfall surprising us as well with their all Protoss lineup doing fantastically here. So I'm sure they're very proud being one of the newest teams on the block.
Oh yeah, and if we do get to an ace match, I can't wait to see a PvP. And I mean, that's probably what would happen, but that would be such a great way to end the match tonight. I'm really hoping that we get there, but we'll be jumping straight into game number 1. We're loading in right now, and here we go. Take it away, Zeph.
Our first player for the night sitting in the top right-hand corner in the purple for Downfall. It's Luneth.
And over here in the top left, in the pink, again making his return to StarCraft 2 Esports, it's tgun. And if we cast our minds back just a little bit, we did see a PVZ played on this map. It was Luneth, actually. I think he was playing against, I want to say Vivid. And that was a crazy match. That was like 1 or 2 weeks ago. My memory's already failing me.
Actually, you know what? You're right. 2 weeks ago he did.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, on Battle in the World. Yeah, no, your memory's better than mine.
Well, that actually impresses me because I can barely remember what I did like 5 minutes ago, so there's that. But that map was actually crazy because we had Luneth attacking Vivid in 3 different places at once, and Vivid was doing the same to him, and it was like 4 or 5 attacks happening simultaneously, and I think that's a big part about what this map can deliver for us because of these sort of backward bridges going to gold bases and that interesting sort of decision making that you have about where do you expand. And look at this, Seth. Luneth already starting with that gold.
And yeah, that was a great recap actually of how this map went last time. And to me, this was a game that really, really impressed me from Luneth. He played it beautifully. And he had control of the game the entire time, so I think he may be fairly confident coming into this match, like another Zerg on Battle on the Boardwalk, no problem. And we did see tgun debut his return to StarCraft. I do hope it's a return and we'll continue seeing him play in the coming months as well, but he is quite a formidable force even when he's not practicing. But I think he's probably a pretty good match for Luneth currently. You know, he's obviously not in his peak form because StarCraft has not been his main game for a while. But you know,
so you're telling me that this is not what peak performance looks like?
I feel like I'm gonna get chewed up in the chat for that. But no, I don't think this is what tgun's peak performance would look like. Now I'm judging that based off like one game, so. You know, take it with a huge grain of salt. But yeah, we'll see what he does.
I feel like there will be a huge grain of salt in the chat. So we got this adept moving out of the map from Luneth. He'll just be looking to scout pretty soon. Luneth going for a robotics facility, and that Twilight Council might go for some more warp prism tech. I know he loves to go for DTs and harass with Archons. And tgun going straight for that speed. He might be able to catch this adept though and take that out. Not too much damage happening there. He's following up with a Baneling Nest.
Yes, indeed. So aggression, as always, is the flavor of the day here in Battle on the Boardwalk. No one's really too keen to sit back and relax. I'm curious to see if tgun will find success here. Does he go for the main? Does he go straight for that natural base at the gold, I guess? Oh, we've even got some drops.
Yeah, drops, and no shield battery here just yet. There's a pylon warping in, but he doesn't have a forge, can't make cannons. If he can get a shield battery up very quickly, he might be able to mitigate some of the damage, buy himself some time, get some warp-ins, and deflect this reasonably easily. But he will have slow warp-ins over here, so maybe, just maybe, tgun can find some damage now that speed is finished.
Certainly. Some Lings left to chew down that pylon on that shorter rush distance there. The rest of the Lings circling around the top. We'll see if he sends any more down here, but he sees, okay, this is a naked mineral line, only some probes. Luneth gets us around, but that's a fair number of speedlings, and they're having a hard time fighting against these units. It looks like he may lose most of these probes, if not all.
Yeah. Oh my god. That was actually brutal right at the end there, and only just now does the shield battery finish. No warp-ins, and meanwhile, big attack at the fronts of Banelings. And a nice force field from Luneth, preventing some of the damage from going down there. Luneth really needs to get this gateway up and just buy himself some time, but it doesn't have enough HP on it, and tgun is straight into the main.
Oh no, boys, he's into the mineral line in the main as well. These probes don't stand a chance. The Immortal getting surrounded goes down so quickly. Luneth warps in a couple of Zealots on the side here to try and take out some of these units, but his main is in tatters.
Yeah, surprise, as tgun comes through, cleans up pretty much everything over here down in the gold base. There's almost nothing. GG is called, and tgun has done it for his team.
GG, tgun, short and sweet, putting a point on the board for Legacy. Very nicely done on Battle of the Boardwalk. I think that's kind of the way you have to do it against Luneth on that map.
Well, now things got a little bit interesting, Zeph, because if Pez can't make something happen for Downfall Gaming, we might have a quick 3-0. I mean, next up would be Ice versus Probe, and we'll definitely get a PvP in, maybe the first one of the tournament, I want to say. But things are looking pretty dicey already after a 5-minute game to start things off.
Yeah, that's rough. I think Downfall would have hoped to secure the first map there. Look, Pez is really solid. And I think he's going to be a great pick for that second map, nonetheless.
He's so strong.
Yeah.
Especially in that matchup.
Absolutely, yeah. I've been really impressed. Like, he took out Hut last week. And Hut has been doing amazingly. He's in some of the best form he's ever been in. So I think Pez could definitely even it up for Downfall in the next match. The question is, how well is Azure playing against Protoss? I mean, I don't have a lot of Azure intel. You got any wisdom you can drop on me, Death?
I don't have a great deal of insight, but I feel like any Terran player right now on any Australian team is pretty demoralized. I feel like Hut's performance recently has actually been some of the best. I feel like Hut has kind of exploded into a Terran player that's even more formidable right now in terms of skill than Seether. And I say that after the recent qualifiers that we've had for like WESG and IEM, that sort of thing. I've been super impressed. I've been talking with some other pro players and they've been really impressed with what he's been doing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic player. So, guys, we're going to take a quick break before we come back on Abyssal Reef for Azure vs Pez TVP. And we'll find out if Downfall can even up the score. Don't go away. We'll be back soon.